guys, it's Michelle from Little Mama's House, and I'm here today to do a quick tutorial for you on how to seal vachetta on a dyed bag using 5 leather sheen. And I showed how to do this on a vernis piece, but I haven't shown yet how I do it on vachetta, so I thought I'd show you guys on this little Alma. It's all dyed, it's all finished. I just have to apply the leather sheen. By the time this video airs, this will have already been home to its owner. This is going to be a pretty quick video because it's a pretty quick process. So what I have here is the leather sheen, and it comes, I buy the liquid one. It also comes in a spray, and I know that some ladies, especially in the Reloved Creations Facebook group, like to use the spray. I prefer not to use the spray. I don't like the aerosol, and I don't like that I would have to then tape everything off before I sprayed, because if it gets on the canvas, it'll leave like a sheen mark on there. So I prefer to use the liquid. I also have some clean rags. This is a pair of old socks of mine, and just a plain cloth, and a disposable cup, because it's very hard to work with the leather sheen out of this little bottle. So I like to pour it in here. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do, and I have already done this when I completed the dye process, is just to go over all of the dyed areas and buff them like this. This is how I do it with my plain dry cloth, and this just removes any excess dye that hasn't been removed yet. Like I said, this has been drying for a couple of days, so I did already buff it, but before I apply the final coat of sealant, I'm just going to give it one more go over in case there's any spot I missed. So there you go. Not much came off. This already had some dye on it from the last time I buffed it, but not much more came off, and so it is ready to go. So what I do next is I pour off a little bit of the leather sheen into my cup. It just makes it a little bit easier to use. And then I take my old sock is trash, and I put it on over my hand just like this, like a mitten. And then I take the bag, I dip my hand into the leather sheen in the cup, wring out any excess, and I begin rubbing the bag. And that's it. I rub it in circular motions until the leather sheen is all rubbed in. And I find that when you do it like this, as opposed to taking a paintbrush and painting it on the bag, you end up with a more matte look to the final result rather than a super shiny finish. You can get a very shiny finish with leather sheen. It's very easily done, but in order to do that, you need to do a lot of coats, and usually I find that if it's applied with a paintbrush rather than in this way, it builds up into really shiny coats a lot faster. So this customer wanted a more matte finish, so this is how I'm applying it. And as you can see, even though we buffed it, as you apply the leather sheen, sometimes some dye comes off. Do not panic, that's normal. You just keep buffing it, and once it's dry, you'll see, and I'll show you that there'll be no more coming off. So I'm just going to work my way around this bag, buffing it in, going over in circular patterns so that I don't get any streaks. And just making sure that I get all the places that it's been dyed. Okay. And that's what it looks like at this point before it's dried. Alright guys, that's it. I'm all done. I applied the coat of leather sheen, and it's dried. And as you can see, it does have a shine to it, but it's a more matte look. It's not super high shine, more like Vaseline. So if you look, I take the clean, dry sock, and if you rub it all over, whereas before when we were first applying it, black was coming off. As you can see, nothing comes off. It's still white and clean, and so the bag is sealed. I'm just going to let it dry up for 24 hours, and then it's going to be on its way. And so that is how you seal dyed vachetta with 5 leather sheen. So as always, please subscribe so you can see more quick, useful tips and tutorials, and thanks for watching. Bye.